Hope you're well. A bit early, but good to see you. Could we handle it? I'm just gonna have a little bit of this 0% Guinness. 0% is good, you know. I think it is anyway. I'm going to talk about isolation and alcohol and how the two are intertwined, really. I think if you're on your own, you're more likely to turn to alcohol. Basically, I think that when you're isolated, then you have no connection. It's very important. If you don't have any connection, then you find something to connect with. And often that's people in a boozer or alcohol, isn't it? But when you're in a relationship, a solid relationship, you've got somebody to talk to, somebody to lean on a bit, you know. Justice Jane, good evening. How are you? Thanks so much for your support. John Doe, how are you doing? Nice to see you. I'll wait till a few more people come on before I mention what tonight's video was about. I put a video on earlier, and I want to have a bit chat about that. Nice to see everybody tonight. Didn't do it last night, but how are you, Sub? How are you well? Hope you're well. How's life on the water? Getting cooler, I suppose, isn't it? It's amazing how quickly this summer has gone, isn't it? Leslie, good evening. How are you? Dan, evening. Yeah, all good, Dan. Nice to see you here. It's already sort of slipping into autumn, and it just seemed like a few weeks ago it was high summer, really, didn't it? You know, it was late before it got dark, 10:30, 11. Now it's colder. Certainly more rain expected, and it's going to go in the winter. And that's when I used to relapse. Personally, it's when I used to relapse. The winter nights, or the autumn nights even, because you find there's very little to do. There's not a lot to do in the UK, especially when it's dark and wet. Because it's not where you are in the UK, it's winter, isn't it? Evening on, how are you? And especially if people aren't working as much or working from home, is another big problem. And I'll talk about that later, about the AI problems, I think. Sure, we know it'll be started at 5 p.m. You're right, John, yeah, it won't be long. It's soon cuts in, doesn't it? Johnny, good evening, how are you? Yeah, 1 minute it's bright sunshine, and a few weeks later it's bang, it's dark. And people are, go to work in the dark and then return from work in the dark, and the drudgery starts, doesn't it? The motorways slow down, wet weather, poor weather, everyone's going slower. It's too long to get to work. When I get back to work, more people are falling sick, all sorts of things going on in the winter. Hi, Tom, hope you're well. So I'm going to talk a little bit about, there's two things. One was the AI. Remember, if I forget that, remind me, AI. The first thing was isolation and alcoholism. Because, my Dennis, alcoholism creates isolation. But isolation creates alcoholism. That makes sense. Hi, Beef and Chicken, hope you're well. Let's see. Riding on the crest of a wave, aren't we? With all this rain, well, next few weeks. So when you're isolated, when you're on your own, is that why when you go into one of these early morning pubs, most of the people, 97%, 98%, maybe 99%, is just men nursing a pint, nursing a halver, because they're single. Because who's going to take them on? Thanks, Blackstone. How are you doing? Nice. Thanks for all those titles you sent me. I'll get onto them. That's weird. I've done a couple. Hi, Con. Hope you're well. So, isolation and alcohol. If you're on your own and you've got no relationship, it can be tempting just to drown your sorrows. Once you find your sorrows, just go to the pub. Nobody to talk to. You haven't got a focus, if that makes sense, you know. Hi, Alex. Rains lit by neon. Nice to see you, Dan. I think we're isolated through shame when we're in the thick of it. Maybe, yeah. But when you're in alcoholism and you're with a partner, you'll become isolated anyway. But if you're isolated, you also turn to alcohol. It's a bit of a double one, this, isn't it? One leads to the other. Isolation is bad, but trying changing the routine 7 days now. Well done, Johnny. That's good. Amazing, really. I couldn't do 7 hours a few years ago. So on a pretty windy day on the boat always reminds me of being on the yeah, rocking and rolling, bumping into things. That's the thing, isn't it? So when you're isolated, you get bored easy. And boredom, I think, is the biggest factor, the biggest reason that people go back on the booze. And you're much more bored in the winter time. So if you're isolated and it's winter time, it's just a double whammy, isn't it? This is why you've got to keep busy with something. But also, when you start drinking heavily, people will leave you anyway because you're a mess. So it's hard to get a balance, isn't it? One is just as bad as the other, if that makes sense. Talking my drinking made me isolated and lonely. Nobody wanted to know me. Yeah, I think we sort of force ourselves as well to keep away from people. The anxiety does that. Jonathan James, I worked as a commodities trader and sometimes had to work through the night. Myself and my colleagues would then go to the pub in the Borough Market that was open for the market chat. We used to go to Borough Market as well. I remember that market, but yeah, we used to go there. Whereas in the Met, finish at 6:30 and then get down there. It's incredible, isn't it? Hi, Steve Jones. The Tom Henry, there's the shame of being an alcoholic. Could be, that's where we're lonely. But I think people tend to drift away from us because we can't be bothered with them, you see. Because all we're focusing on is the booze. So you haven't got this connection. I think I did a little, I put a little audio the other night about this connection thing. If you haven't got a connection, alcohol becomes your connection. If that makes sense. That's when I became isolated because I didn't want anyone to see me like that. Yeah, that's a good point. You don't want people to see you with your rotten clothes on, filthy apartment, and being able to walk properly. That's a good point. Actually, what do you play in the band? I played bass guitar. I was then quite good. I was teaching a few people. Jenny, how sad is it when you need to black out to stop your anxiety? I feel better after a hard week, one day at a time. That's the only way to do it. Break it down one day a week. Jonathan James, it was amazing how many people were in there in the morning, some wearing suits too, nurses as well. Oh, yeah, I used to, well, nurses, doctors, all sorts in the morning. And, nightclub staff. There used to be a club, I can't remember the name of it. No, not the Studio Valbonne. That was in Kingley Street. Another nightclub on New Burlington Street near Savile Row, where the police station was. That would open about 5 o'clock in the morning for other nightclub workers to go. A lot of celebrities used to be in there. Con, I don't like the sober me. Much happier now. Really less on top of all the time. Yeah, Con, it's your health, wasn't it? That's the thing. You might feel a bit like isolated when you're sober, but it's your health you've got to look out for. Richard Bruce, hi Steve. Glad to be checking in. All well, yeah. Everything's tickety boo, which is brilliant. We're just talking about isolation and alcoholism, how one creates the other, and vice versa, really. Hope you get some benefits from these lives. If you wish to drop a super chat in, please do, or the Buy Me a Coffee links at the top. Every bit of support we get makes the channel grow and gets stronger, and maybe helping somebody else out there who doesn't know about the channel, because every bit of support will help somebody else, and we're all helping each other here. It's a group effort, isn't it? So at least you don't have to tell how you drink or lie to your partner when you're drinking on your own. Yeah, I understand what you mean. When you're on your own, you can get in more of a mess. So basically, isolation is worse, isn't it? It's a good way of putting it. Thanks, Johnny. Good group this. That's when you also stop responding to people because you don't want them to worry. But of course, not responding makes you them worry, of course. Hayden Cullen, evening, Steve. How are you? Nice to see you. Tom Cunningham, I was blacking out in the pubs and I was aggressive and selling in blackouts. Wow, getting into trouble. So rather than the alcohol was the problem, I started drinking at my home. That's another reason, isn't it? I know people, I never did, but I know people got barred from pubs just for being idiots and all that sort of thing. So they ended up drinking at home, which isn't good, is it? Alex Ralph, how are you doing? Did the booze ever give you any sense of anxiety? Oh, massive. Did they give you shame and embarrassment when buying out from the same shop? Yeah, I always felt the shopkeeper knew I had a problem. Yeah, that's part of the paranoia, Alex. Sort of creeping a little bit, and the anxiety, Yeah, I did off. My anxiety was very acute when I was on the booze, or when I was coming off it with withdrawal, But when I was sober, I was fine. As in when I got properly sober. last time I remember my dad called university security to my hall because I wouldn't answer during a binge, and it was so embarrassing. Yeah, I remember being in a flat where my parents couldn't get through, my sister couldn't get through, and got the caretaker to break the door down. How fucking embarrassing is that? Progression, Tom, you're right. I've been it's horrendous. The whole journey of being an alcoholic and heavy drinking is it's embarrassing. I feel shameful, but I put a little short video today. When you say you don't drink, you get interrogated. Why don't you drink? Has something happened? Have you been done for drink drive? You lost your job? We get interrogated as to why we don't drink, especially when you meet people for the first time or a family member you haven't seen for a while, or even ex-colleagues. I went down to the Met a couple of years ago for a reunion, and people said, "What do you mean you don't drink? You should drink after every shift." A massive interrogation. Something must have happened. Oh, let's carry on, just because you don't drink. If you go around and say you cured yourself, you're off heroin or something, you say, "Oh, well done." But alcohol, you have to justify why you don't drink poison. Then say, "Wow, what's going on here? I just don't drink." That's it. You got to be strong. That's why I'm doing. Let people drag you in or draw you back into that, because it's a bad place to be. And you get drawn back into drinking because only one will start you off. Dan, I just say I've had a problem with it. Yeah, me too. All I say to people now is I don't drink, I don't want to. Simple as that, really. I don't drink, I don't want to. And ended it like that. If they don't want to know me, then bollocks them. Deb McKay, good evening, Steve. How you doing, Debbie? Nice to see you. So yeah, isolation was bad for me, and I'm sure that's why people that are on their own tend to drift the pub more because you got nobody pull you back a little bit, you know what I mean, and say, "Well, hang on a minute, we've got things to do, with things to watch out for." So I had the police come around on many occasions for a welfare check. Sometimes I didn't have a clue who sent them around or what I'd got up to the night before to warn of it. I know it's frightening when that happens, isn't it? Yeah. That was him with that caretaker. And was a collapse behind the door. What the hell was all that about? Funny enough, he was a military man. He used to drink a lot of whiskey, the caretaker. He died of a brain hemorrhage. But he wasn't an alcoholic. He wasn't anywhere near my level. He wasn't a problem drinker. He just liked his whiskey. So he used to do a few jobs in the apartment I was living in. So I used to give him a bottle of whiskey. Much cheaper than a tradesman. Nice fella. Fry took on his flagon of mead. Yeah, you're right. Fry I took. Alex Roth, the white powder was always a problem for me and a lot of people around me went on the booze. Yeah, I never went down that road, but I know a lot of people that did. So alcohol is just accepted. That's why it's treated differently. It's very accepted, isn't it? It's almost expected that you will drink when you hit 18. Bear in mind, most people have been drinking since they were 14. So by the time you're 18, you're quite a seasoned drinker. Well, I was. I thought, I know the pubs. I think my parents were quite staggered when they came down to Epping, and everybody knew the dog that I used to take to the pub. Oh, there's Major the dog. I knew everybody, even at a young age, Because if you like a drink, you want more, don't you? Simple as that. Jonathan James, even the landlord of the Mock Porter seemed to be on the sauce. He looked like a leprechaun. He had a stroke. We would do. Can you imagine getting up early at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, open the bar and getting straight on it? I used to know a lot about a pub that I used to go a lot called the Red Lion. You've heard me mention it before, on Kingley Street. Geordie lad. And he used to get the draymen. They used to have horse-drawn drays, even in the 80s, from Sam Smith's, was a Yorkshire brewery. And he said the drayman came in and had a couple of drinks in the morning, 6 o'clock. And then when they got vehicles, the driver wouldn't maybe have, the driver might have a couple of pints, and the drayman who's doing the barrels used to have a couple at every boozer. And about 20 in the West End then. Jeez, imagine the amount of drink they had. Have a sandwich and then a few beers and go and move on to the next pub, Lager's full of poison now. As a bricklayer, it's hard not to do it. But I choose my life, not the pub. That's the only way you do it. You've got to be strong. You've got to choose something better than alcohol, isn't it? Something that isn't going to make you ill. That's the main thing. So if you benefit from these lives, then please drop us a super chat in. It will help others, and it'll help us as well to keep the channel strong. Or the Buy Me a Coffee link is posted at the top there. Andrew Spurs, alcohol had me completely on my own. It does, yeah, it does isolate you, definitely. And then when you isolate, it makes it even worse. Just made my 20 cans a day in the end, but celebrating 4 months, so well done, Andrew. One applause for Andrew there. 4 months. That's excellent. Thanks very much for that. Keep these, good look stories going on and the hard look because we need to see, both sides of the story here because people can kick it. So I have, and a few others have. Some people struggle, or some people are struggling, but you will eventually get out of it if you use the right mindset. There's the cocaine is so available now. Yeah, it wasn't when I was younger. The cocaine. I always thought it was too expensive, but I said I never took it. I didn't really mix with people who did. If that makes sense. We used to drink, didn't take coke. Well done, Andrew. Yeah, good for you, Andrew. Dig deep and stay with it. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, keep positive with it. Frank Station. Hi, Stephen. Hi, Frank. How are you doing? Richard, never had a pint in London. Oh, different ball game in London. Pubs are so much better. But the atmosphere is the decor. Different characters. And you've got a lot of moving trade. It's very transient in London, isn't it? Did Conrad Starmer send an emergency warning to your phone? Not to me. I didn't get anything. Blackstone was reading. Maybe I got it switched off. Rehab. Blackstone was reading an article earlier about how bad South Towns has become with alcoholism, big poverty and derivation component. Yeah, definitely South Towns is not good. Middlesbrough's pretty bad. County Durham's pretty bad. Gateshead as well. The North East has always had a bad reputation for alcoholism. In fact, the North East in the early 1900s was the first place to get a special order to keep people incarcerated in mental hospitals through alcoholism. I found that out from a doctor I was speaking to at one of the hospitals recently who was trying to help a little bit on the alcohol care team. Stephen, you have a smartphone? I do, yeah, tell you, yeah. An iPhone, Karen. If you want to drop a coffee in, please do, or a super chat. It all helps the channel grow, and it may help somebody who hasn't actually seen this yet to reach out. Because we're getting a few new members. We're getting quite a decent sort of regular crowd as well, so which is good. But as I said before, it will increase with the autumn nights, dark nights, and that sort of thing. Jim, still trying to taper it down, but it's difficult. I find it impossible, Jim, to be fair. Because I start shaking 2 or 3 hours after I wake up. Hopefully, you can get out of the mess at some point. Yeah, Joe, if you want one-to-one support, if you look at the description part on any of my videos, there's a link there, or my numbers there. Tom Cunningham, yes, people don't realise how dangerous alcohol is. Of course they don't. No. Andrew, suppose I used to live down south, but I've moved to County Durham now. Not been in the whole time I've been there. I've been on, okay. Whereabouts in County Durham are you, Andrew? Neil, hi, Neil, how are you doing? It's how Darlington I live. It's a good town, it's ruined by invaders and drugs and alcohol. Yeah, I can imagine. I've only ever been through Darlington. Actually, no, I've been once years ago from you. The Spanish place, but it's very run down Darlington. But it's got everywhere's got its good and bad places, you know. Good, Neil. Glad you're okay. Every area's got, bits of poverty, bits of, more affluence, that sort of thing. But I certainly think that when you're isolated, you drink more. If you drink more, even the other part will isolate you. So it's really difficult. This. I want to say I meant I haven't been in a pub since I've been there. I'm in Merton near Sim. All right, okay, I know roughly where that is. It's totally different to the south, isn't it, Andrew? Especially with Spurs sport. Because I'd imagine same way parts of Durham or Sunderland, aren't they? So that's how good and bad it were. Of course they are. Blackstone, you mentioned the power of feeling back in control as a contributor to relapse. But I also think there's the intense feelings of pain and regret fade with time. You forget how bad it was. You do. That's why you've got to focus on how ill you were, how ill you felt when you were on it. Tom, coming up in Birmingham, I've seen these smaller places have had bad addiction issues. Sometimes the small country villages have got bad addiction issues because there's very little to do. This is what I meant about less connection. When you isolate, you've got less connection, so we connect with the alcohol. That's part of it, I think. Andrew says, yeah, it's all Sunderland here. I've been to a few games. Good. This is sort of fitting in there. I mean, anybody social will fit in there. But well done, Andrew, for Is there any reason you moved back to that area? I mean, I moved back. I should never move back. Really. I quite like this song. Cook, hi, Stephen Gunn. Nice to see you, Cook. Richard Bread, watch the coffee, mate. Frog in your throat by drinking her mint. Yes, weird. No? Actually, I saw the liver specialist Friday, and I got a clean bill of health, basically, which is good. Said I'm pretty good now. Probably with a normal life expectancy. This something either, which is brilliant. But she did mention, I think I mentioned it on Friday, coffee is a fantastic, not healer, but manager of any liver damage that will improve your longevity, to be honest with you. Milk thistle shredding is no chance, but certainly coffee. I've moved here for rehab, but I'm staying. Okay, well done, Andrew. That's good. That's good news. Tom Cunningham, 6 days off, it's full of guilt and shame. With 6 days off it, you should be full of happiness, you know. You should be pleased. Thanks, Son. Good to hear about your health. Yeah, I'm really pleased because it was like, it's always a strange time you go for these scans in case any cancers and that sort of thing. But I had a little audit recently on that hospital. The last 1,500 scans, which is a lot of scans for the liver, they found 0 cancer. Now, you're going to up your chances of getting cancer if you've got cirrhosis or fibrosis if you have any drink at all. You'll also lessen your chance if you have a good diet and watch your weight, so the liver doesn't get more fatty. Okay, because this consultant is very good. She talks for ages, very knowledgeable girl. And yeah, coffee, good diet, watch your weight, and there's a lot of things you can do to help manage your problems, which is good news, isn't it? We can actually do something about it, even when we've been right to the edge. You know? That's an image sometimes appears in my mind of an ice cold beer. It looks very nice, but I have to remember it's a lure. Yeah, I don't want to drink again. I'm frightened to. I don't want to. I don't even enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it last time I drank. I've drunk 5 years out of the last 20. That's 15 around it. It was sober. Alex Roth, do you believe of the pink cloud when you get off the booze? I don't know what that means, Alex, to be fair, but everything's rosy in my garden at the moment. And speaking of that, Samantha. Hello, Steve. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Thanks, Samantha. Hope you're well. I am very well. Just talking about this, the benefits of coffee for overall health. And you know I'm a coffee connoisseur. But I didn't realize how good it was for you. Even 3 or 4 cups a day is good. During the trial, Steve, can my liver repair if I have 3 months off? And do it. It depends if you've got any damage on it, but your liver function will get better. Your liver function will always improve if you don't drink. Katie Curry, hello. How are you doing, Katie? Nice to see you. Have you ever heard that song? It's a family affair. Samara, my nearest neighbour is a boathouse tavern with a seafront beer garden. Within shouting distance is great therapy to see the pissheads shouting and arguing with each other before closing time. But it's also a temptation, isn't it? The sub, that's the thing. Temptation to get in there. Blackstone, coffee is beautiful. Coffee is really good for liver health, even if you haven't got any issues. Hayden Kong, I had a fibre scan done last year. Big weight called significant fatty liver. Yeah, this is the reason you should, if you are off the booze, cut down the sugar a little bit. And don't, it's your diet. It's all about diet now, if you can get off it. Even if your liver is damaged, it's all about diet. You have plenty of, like tonight I had a crab salad. And then I had a very small pizza thing with more salad and some fruit. You've got to have a good diet. And you must hydrate, which is what my partner keeps saying, drink more water. Hi, Scooter Bob. So Hayden, yeah, it's a bit of a wake-up call that. Hardly any symptoms was only picked up from blood tests. Like sometimes the blood test can come back good as well, and your liver's damaged. So your scan is important. Isolation keeps us in our head, of course it does. But isolation causes alcohol problems. Alcohol problems cause isolation. Johnny the Tron, kiwi and spinach and water. Yeah, kiwi fruit's good. Alex, pink clouding or pink cloud syndrome describes a stage of early addiction recovery that involves feeling of euphoria and elation. when you're in this place, you feel excited about sport. Oh yeah, I'm still in the pink cloud, if that makes sense. In fact, it's red now. It's even better. So, but after your well run, time is good. Yeah, that's incredible. That's so true. That's when I've read a bit about coffee and the liver. Caffeinated and decaf offer equal benefits. Yeah, they do. Just any coffee will do. Even Witherspoon's coffee is good. Vegetables, pasta with vegetable tomato sauce, mozzarella. Yeah, anything healthy. Keep away from processed foods. Try and cut down the salt as well. Tom was damaged my liver for years, didn't know. If you're getting some benefit and get some value from these lives, then please drop a super chat in. It doesn't have to be a lot. It helps the channel, boosts the algorithm, and it may help other people. Every time we get stronger, we help more people and get more people involved, as this group has shown. There's also buy me a coffee link pinned at the top there. You certainly do, Scott, about when you're drinking, you do isolate yourself. It's just a natural progression, really. But also, yeah, that's definitely a thing. Like New Year's resolution enthusiasm. When you get sober, you've got your life back. Forget about having a drink and getting your life back. It's when you get sober, your life's back. Very best. I've got one of those Nutri bullets, make juices and smoothie, but need to be careful because fruit contains a lot of natural sugars. It's still good for you though. But I don't mean like it's like eating a whole box of Maltesers isn't particularly good, but fruits would be fine. But there is some sugar in, yeah, definitely. We can't be too purist here. Some of us have been thrown 25 pints of beer or 3 bottles of wine down our necks. Don't worry about a few raspberries, is what I'm trying to say, you know. Dan, the doctor once said to me, the liver is like an elastic band. You can put it under pressure and it can go back to normal, but once it snaps, you're done. Yeah, I agree with that. John Doe, I've never had a liver scan. I'm always having blood tests. One blood test show. Not necessarily didn't with me. It doesn't always show. That's why the liver disease is called the silent killer. Scott Ball, stop drink, be present for you, present for your family. You'll feel thoughts calming when you're not in your head. It's very true. So it's not just obviously not just the liver we're talking about. I mean, heart attacks and strokes. Pancreatitis is a massive problem. Other types of cancer, throat cancer, colon cancer, stomach cancer, all linked to alcohol. Other problems you have that aren't even alcohol related will get worse if you continue to drink. That's just a common sense thing, isn't it? You consider keep putting poison down your neck. Thanks very much, Jan, for that coffee. I appreciate that. Anne's massive support of the channel. As I said, every support will make this channel stronger and we may help more people. That's what we're here for. To get more and more people involved, help more people, and get everyone healthy. That's the basis of it, isn't it? Wouldn't come on here for any other reason. All of us are here for that, aren't we? To get healthy and to help each other be healthy and stay healthy. Because the getting sober part for a lot of people is quite simple. It's the temptation, resisting the temptation of having a drink that is difficult. And that must be avoided at all costs. The first one is going to really ruin you. And the more you avoid it, the better, really. Because I know people who've drunk all their life. I haven't drunk all my life. I've had long spells off. Some people haven't any spells off. So you've got to get off it. Booze made that reality. It's amazing to think how extreme our situation was, that without advanced medical knowledge, we would be dead, or we would have died. 100% Blackstone, yeah. And Spurs, I must have damaged my liver, but bloods were fine. The bloods can be fine. Yeah, you've got to be very careful with this. I always contribute to your lives, you're a real counsellor. Thanks, Johnny. Good man. Tim Carter, evening Steve. I drink on average 12 to 14 mugs of coffee a day. I know that's too much, but it's better. It is a bit much, isn't it? But you must be hyper, right? I would say 2 to 4, maybe. But if it's certainly better than alcohol. John Doe, I'm going to have a word with my doctor about getting a scan. Then 100%, John, you must have a scan. That's why it's called silent killer. Tom, but we think we can't live without it. It's the opposite, exactly. Very best. I meant I need to be careful with fruit because I'm diabetic. Understand? Yeah, I've got you. Well, I suppose your doctor and nutritionist will guide you on that one. Scott Roberts killing us. It certainly is. Too many people dying, aren't they? All these accidents people have, and, it kills people from all walks of life. It will kill anybody who lets it into their life. Jonathan, Steve, what made you get off the bottle the first time? Do you have major health? No, I didn't have any health problems actually when I first got off it. I just was sick of feeling rough and tried to stop. Had a seizure. I was put on diazepam and I was off for 3 years after that. I was quite young then, or youngish, and I just thought, I'll go back on it. It'll be all right. I wasn't. So under a blood test or used for liver function tests, but only a biopsy can detect any liver disease in the early stages. Yeah, or a scan I had. So I've never had a biopsy, to be honest. Alex, the fear of missing out is the hardest part of quitting, especially when young. I agree, and also the boredom. The boredom dovetails in with fear of missing out, I suppose, isn't it? So on September the 17th, I'll be 10 years, so I'll never be over anything but I cope. That's amazing, that, Scott. 10 years is fantastic. Really good. And the Spurs think it was 19 centimetres my liver when they scanned it. But they said it was really enlarged. That must be the fatty liver disease. Get the scan. I felt fit, but actually had damage. Please, everyone get. Yeah, you got to. If you won't give your scan, push for it. We have basically what you got to do before you do anything is stop drinking and get your diet bang on. Your diet is so important, and you wait a little bit. Look at your weight and do some exercise, and keep your head straight. We have to acknowledge our past, accept our mistakes, learn to love ourselves. Very true. Hayden, I know 3 people in the space of a year who have died, all due to alcohol, young as well, and one in the 30s and one in his 40s. So young, isn't it? And driver, thanks for coffee, Anne. And I wish my GP had explained properly why I had to stop drinking and what could have happened. There isn't or wasn't enough info. There isn't. It was never explained to me either. Got to find out for yourself. That's like do-it-yourself NHS. The do-it-yourself shops, isn't it? There's these machines. Subscribe, you will be a decker sober terrain. I just made that up. Well done, Tom. Yeah, the isolation and then drinking more chronic. Thanks, Dave, for the coffee. The first bottle of coffee there. If you want to support the channel, please hit the coffee link or hit the super chats. It will strengthen the channel, get it bigger, and we can help more people. So it's important. People who have problems with drinking haven't gone too far and transformed into something they can transform back out of. They've moved naturally and inevitably into what they always were. Good point. Birdie, CT scans show any problems after the blood tests. Yeah, you've got to have actually, I have a US scan, like the pregnancy type ultrasound, but mine's bang on, so I'm not worried too much anymore, to be fair. Which is good, gives you a good feeling, doesn't it? That you're in good nick. We got lots of good people. Of course we are. We're very good people. Everyone here is good. We're all supporting each other for a start. And the more we support each other, the bigger the channel will grow, the more people we can get. We help more, can't we? That's the basis of it. Okay, let me move on to this AI carry on now. Now, I don't know a lot about it, but I do listen to a lot of nighttime radio, LBC. There's a lot of chats on there about this AI and how quickly it's taking over jobs. Now, this is why I think this channel will get massive. And this is why I need your help, probably. AI is going to be 10 times worse than COVID for availability of booze because a lot of people will be out of work. Thanks, Enoch, for that coffee. I really appreciate that, Enoch. And nice to see you back. Thanks very much, good support of the channel. Every support is welcomed and will help us grow stronger and help more people. Cheers, Enoch. So the AI, when it comes in, is going to knacker a lot of people, really. There's going to be a lot of job losses. So people will be sat at home on board. And as the recession deepens, people tend to reach for alcohol as a connection, like I mentioned. So the alcohol rate, the medics I know, because I've spoken to a couple, are really worried about this massive increase that's going to come in quite suddenly on the booze. Because less people are going to work for a start. More people work from home. More people will work shorter hours. This is the government's idea. They'll split the 40-hour working week into 2 or 3 even. So people have got a little bit of work. And they'll get this, I can't remember the wording for it, sort of government-based allowance or something. Housing will be tight to get because people won't have as much money. And this is a fact that 50 billionaire families in the UK have more wealth than the poorest 50% of the UK, which is 24 million people. So 50 billionaires have more wealth than 50% of the UK population. During the trial, thanks so much for that sort of chat. Really appreciate it. It's massive support of the channel, helps us grow, helps us help more people. The more we can help, the better. And we need to get people fit and healthy before this kicks in, this current. So what's going to happen is, basically, there'll be less jobs, less money, people are going to reach for the bottom. That's exactly what happened with COVID. More availability. People were pissed off, they're all stuck together in the same house. Loads of domestics, loads of social problems. And there's going to be mass unemployment. When there's mass unemployment, there's recession, high crime rates, low detection rates, and more people are going to drink. So you need to get off the booze, fit and healthy before this kicks in. Thank you, Johnny. Really appreciate that. Makes such a difference. So that's just one little thing. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, people might not be interested in AI, but I am. Tom, it's true the NHS give you numbers. You say do it yourself. When I can't hold a thought, they wouldn't do that if I had a heart problem. It's very true. It's not threat as serious as it is, even by ourselves. Don't train to work in AI. That's the thing. If you can get it, in there, you'll be fine, you know. Alex, well, I think years down the line, that will be illegal, maybe in 50 to 100 years. I think maybe. I'm not sure how the world will look even in 5 years, to be honest, with the amount of job losses that are coming. Because it's pretty bad if you look at the real figures. And Leslie, who was on here, Leslie was served by a robot the other night in Paris. I did some research on that. In Japan, a lot of restaurants, there's just robots in there serving it. It's crackers. How quickly it's coming. AI has already infected the internet. Finding the actual truth is becoming a nightmare. Yeah, good point, sir. Is the fibre scan accurate? Because they told me the liver is fine, but I've been taking very health for 11 years. Some people don't get liver problems. Some people get other problems. It will get you somehow, whether it's through your heart or through your pancreas or the kidneys. Cotton Eye Joe, that's incredibly depressing and the complete opposite of encouraging. It's a depressing picture, definitely. I agree. Hopefully not terminate. But, that's got to go. A lot of us are past training for anything. That's very true, yeah. I think Samantha's the same there. We've given up, we'll just give up, don't we? Let's just give up. We can't give up, Samantha, we can't give up. AI has everyone all mixed up. That's what the powers that be want. Maybe so, yeah. It is a personal thought, Cotton Eye Joe, isn't it? But that's why we need to be here and fit and healthy to get over it, rather than reaching for the ball. That's the point of the conversation. So a lot what sobers people up is the necessity of interacting with people or going out and getting more booze. Without removed, an alcoholic can go on and on. Very true. Never too late. I would like to retrain for anything, to be fair. But I know what you're saying, Tom. There are some people who can retrain. So this AI, Karen, will be much worse than COVID for alcoholics and people who reach for the bottom. Because it's going to create masses of problems. And that's not, I'm not depressed. I'm quite happy with life. I'm just going to just talking generally now. But if you're fit, you can get through it. With all our problems, if you're fit, you're not drinking, you'll be fine. So to many of us, we're involved emotionally within things we have no control of. To many of us, we're too involved emotionally. Yeah, I think you're right. I need cheering sometimes to stay positive and sober. Had enough of this tonight. Okay, catch you later. It's just a general discussion. Good night, Cotton Eye Joe. See you soon, hopefully. Don't worry about it too much. It's just like the Industrial Revolution, but quicker. Anyway, I think we need to stay fit and healthy for that alone. Graham John. In software, AI is the new Indian outsourcing. It is cheap, tempting, but will ultimately fail for all the same reasons Indian outsourcing. Well, you never know, Graham. Yeah, it's different takes on, isn't it? So many people are already having a virtual parties on the internet. How the hell can you pull or dance with a hologram? It's very true, yeah. It's bizarre how quickly it's just taken over. I was surprised when Leslie mentioned that she'd been for a meal and was served by a robot. I think, geez, what's all that about? Well, pubs would be served by robots and boozers, won't you? Tom King, I wish I had a robot when I was drinking. Isn't it crazy? It is a bit mad. Yeah, it's just everything's taken over by the system. Not, I think the Cotton Eye Joe fellow was very happy about it, but it's just life, isn't it? Can't change the way society works or what direction we're headed in. Just one of them things, isn't it? I'm going to see if there are any questions coming. I boxed for 20 years, always fit. This is how I can't understand how I was doing it nightly. Then now daily I'm still fit, but it's definitely catching up. It's just age, travel, journey of the travel, and it's one of them things which will it's bound to catch up, isn't it, with age, and maybe your organs are never going to be as good as they were 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 4 years ago, because it's like running an old car, isn't it? It's only going to go for so long. Somebody's put a question here: why is alcohol so addictive? I think because the feeling you get when you're young, you still try and chase that a little bit, and you think you're going to go back to that. But it's never the same, is it? That's to me it was addictive, but it's chemical addiction. I don't know. I don't know about in the early days when you're not really at the bottom of the bottle, when people just feel the need to go for drink every Friday night, and it's more like a habit, isn't it? Graham Jones, Johnny, same here. Box swam every day. I thought it was invincible. Eventually catch up. It will, Graham, yeah, in some way I'll catch up with you. Johnny, I was in the waiting room this afternoon at the hospital with someone else on an unrelated matter. At 3 p.m., everyone's phone started going off. It was that government testing on the phone. I never got that. I just switched off on my phone. But then again, I was driving back, so I might have switched it off. Just been up to a place called Morpeth. They'll still need buildings and making the parts for AI. They will, but can you imagine losing 75,000 jobs in one day at IBM? You're going to have a hell of a lot of people working on AI just to replace those 75,000. All the people in supermarkets, all the tax people, all the admin people, lawyers, all be gone. Not all of them, but most of them, 70 80% of them will be gone in a couple of years. And, you won't have that many jobs to replace it. That's why you need to be fit. Imagine having a robot to go to the shop to get alcohol for you. Well, yeah, we've got driverless taxis now, haven't we? Driverless trains on the underground. But yes, Johnny, I'm 47, definitely catched up. Graham, you're correct, 44, no, that's to stop. Yeah, anything over 40, then you're pretty snookered, really, if you've been drinking. The doctors tell you that. I know a doctor quite well, and he said he didn't see men, particularly men under 40, really very much. Once he hit 40, things start to break down. I hope you enjoy the lives. If you do, please feel free to drop a super chat, or buy me a coffee. Links at the top. It helps this channel grow stronger, and it'll help more people. Every bit of support will help somebody else because it will get stronger, get more visits, more views, and obviously check the videos that come out every day, all this sort of thing. Even if we just save one life, it'd be a bonus, wouldn't it? But we all need to be healthy to do that, because as I was once told, you can't look after anybody else unless you look after yourself first. If you're in active addiction, then you have to look after yourself first, because no one's going to come and dig you out of it. It's down to yourself, So yeah, why do you think alcohol is addictive? The chemical, or the habit, or this because we liked it? Because I can't really put my finger on why I found it so good. Because I soon got sick of it with the hangover, but I sort of ploughed through it as if it was a normality, a normal thing to do, to have too much to drink and suffer. It's crazy, isn't it? I turned 50 this year. For about 5 years now, I've thought I can hit the bag and get back in the pool and it will all be back to normal, but I'm not able to. Now injury hits, locks up like a motivation. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm very motivated again. I'll go to the gym as much as I can now, but you're never going to be back to when you're 20. It's impossible for anybody, isn't it? But the more you do now, the more you will be able to progress when you're older. If that makes sense. Genova, thanks very much for that super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It all helps the channel, helps us grow, helps the algorithm, and it will help us get more people involved in this, more supporters, and help more people. Because this is quite a groundbreaking thing. I don't think anybody else does it in the UK like this. Because we can all air our own thoughts and fears as well, and success stories and failures, and we can get people back. I haven't seen Cars tonight. Nobody else has spoken to her. Scott, I thought everyone got loaded. We used to, yeah, didn't it? Tom, it's weird. I'm 47, but feeling my 20s in my head. So do I. But we have to think at the reality of it all now, don't we? Buxton, I think Scott Buxton started drinking at 12. Neil, it's because Stengo, thanks so much for that super chat. Really appreciate that. I've got a few super chats coming. Really good. Let's grow the channel. Let's help more people, and let's get sober and let's get healthy. Health is your wealth, When you get to the bottom of the bottom, you're really, really ill with it all. You'll wish you never had a drink. But you hope that you can stop. You hope that you can get over it. And you want to be a good person. Alcohol is one of the only things where you're sick, you will get better. You will become a better person. When you're on a plateau, then you're sick with something. I don't know, heart problems or something. You get back to where you were before. With alcoholism, you will actually get better, if that makes sense. Yeah? So the sky's the limit if you can get sober, as far as I'm concerned. Thanks, Tango, for that, and Genova for your super chats. If anybody else wants to do that, there's a link in there, or the Buy Me Coffee links at the top. And let's get this channel moving again. A little bit of a dip last week. I think there's a lot of people been away over the holidays, but as I promised, it'll grow quicker now that they've got this autumnal feel, because people are going to get sick of their lives. They'll fancy drinking. If we come on here, we'll keep them sober, keep them on a straight and narrow. You need somebody or a group of people to come and say, look, I'm sick of my life. What should I do? We'll tell you what to do. The next day you think, God, they're quite a good group of folk there. And it's a good mix of ladies and gents as well. Bertie, the thing with alcohol, it's readily available, it's legal. That's the thing, it's too much, isn't it? Tommy's tired. It does get you down. Because it is like motivation sometimes, but you will get back. It's get your diet right. Honestly, your diet is very important. So let's get in touch with our inner child. Bertie, easy to make alcohol yourself. Meant to say. Yeah, I understand, yeah. It is, of course it is. Graham Jones, same here, mate. We all think we're still 30. Not only got the gym. Alcohol affects people differently. Some get a buzz, some think it's out of this world. If you think it's just out of the world, then you'll drink more and probably become addicted. Yeah, you're right. There's different levels in this somewhere, but we're all individuals, you see. So it affects us differently every which way. Isn't it? That's line. If I go out, it's usually private houses, hostess, fire drinking folks. This is my fucking heading. I think you were at a barbecue, weren't you? Things like barbecues. I used to love doing barbecues. It was only an excuse to drink. That's all it was. Just an excuse to drink. They're quite a big garden. I was having to put spotlights all on the walls, and it was really good. I used to sit there all night though. The bar was summer nights and stuff. Fantastic. But all I did was drink. I used to go to Italy whenever I had a chance on holiday. All I did was drink. Every holiday was just drink more. What was I going to do? What was I going to do with all this drinking? I used to feel terrible. Camping in the heat, waking up at 7 in the morning, it's 28 degrees. I mean, Jesus Christ. It was torture. Then have a few drinks, you're back on about, everything's fine at 10 o'clock in the morning. I loved it when I started, turned on me very early, thinking about, I think similarly, I think I was an alcoholic when I was very young. But we were fit enough to bat it off, I think. That was the thing. And if you're fit enough to bat it off, then you think you've got a problem. But you live with it, don't you? So, well, I'm not an expert. Nobody is an health expert. I don't tell anyone what to do. Thanks, Hayden. Hayden just bought a coffee. That's really good of you. Thanks very much for that. Every donation helps us grow and helps us get stronger. And every time we get this, we'll help more people. It all helps with boosting this channel. The more watch time we get on here, it makes a massive difference to this YouTube channel algorithm. I don't know anything about algorithms, but thanks so much, Hayden, for that. And thanks, Enoch and Anne, for the coffees. and the people who put the super chats in. If you want to do that, please do. I don't know if anybody can ever explain an algorithm to me because I don't have a clue what it is, but I understand it's something which promotes whatever. And we're getting a lot of watch time here, which is good. And if anybody got any questions, please throw them in. If I can't answer them, then somebody on here will definitely be able to answer them. I think probably about 24 should have stopped. Yeah, me too, mid-20s. I was told to stop when I was late 20s, but I didn't. I was told to cut down. But they looked at me and said, "Oh, you look quite fit. Just cut down a little bit." But also, you walk with the doctors and think, "I'm fine. I'll go for a pint." Or you get invited to a do or something at work going on, or, back in the West End of London, but I'll just nip the pub. Graham says, yeah, 25, I get hammer till 4 a.m. and still get up to play football next morning. Yeah, you can't take that forever. But it's depressing, makes you anxious, but people get addicted because can't handle it. Come down. That's another thing. If you're frightened to withdraw. I was very frightened the last time. I couldn't get any medication. But basically, although people probably drink for different reasons, generally it is a quick distraction. Whatever's ailing you, it takes the pain away. I think it does. But then you start to feel that. I'm going to put the number up here because I've got a WhatsApp group which is doing really well at the moment. Who wants to join that? Because there's a lot of good guys in there and girls who want to get off the booze, or some are off the booze. And if you text that number, I'll send you the link. Johnny the Tall on average, Steve, how many units a week we have? It's varied with me, Johnny. When I was right at the end of it, when I was really ill, seriously ill, I wasn't having much straw. My body was so sensitive. But I could drink maybe 8 pints a day, 10 pints on my days off. And if I had a couple of days off in a row, probably a bit more than that. But I generally have 4 or 5 pints in the red line after lates. And then have a couple of beers when I got home. So I was drinking all the time. I was a regular drinker. That was my problem. Regular, rather than I didn't know any spirits or wine. I always just drank lagers, but premium lagers, pills and things. Scobell, the real buzz comes when you're well and alcohol free. It does. Blackstone, like I remember feeling a complete failure and embarrassed and ordered some beer to get over that feeling right away. Yeah, you do. You'll have more beer when you feel rough, don't you? If that makes sense. Total nightmare. Left on a good night, folks. Having a night of sweats ahead and 3 a.m. wake up, sugar spike. Then Monday I'm feeling sorry for myself. It's a vicious cycle, isn't it? Like Rolanda. It really is. Got to break it for you. We've got to break. Morning beer fear. Yeah, it's Sunday fears. People get, don't they? I didn't have the Sunday because I worked shifts on different days, but it's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. It's so easily available, Johnny. The thing is, I think it's not just the availability. It's socially acceptable, isn't it? Smoking isn't so much, but smoking was easy to get rid of. Alcohol, nobody'll ever get rid of alcohol. It's just over glamorized. It's the fantasy versus reality, isn't it? The fantasy versus reality is massive because we have this vision of just going to the pub and having a few, going home to your wife or girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, and the reality of it is you come back and you have an argument, or you end up on your own and you go back to an empty flat. I'll try a night like Leonard. I hope it's not too bad. I agree with that, and I hope it's okay. But it is bad when you've had a session on the weekend, you've got to go back. Graham Jones, I've always eaten well and exercised to counter heavy drinking, but as the exercise falls off and I get lazy on the diet, I'm starting to unravel. You will. When you get sober, bang on the exercise. You got exercise, and also look at the diet carefully. No salt, hardly any sugar. What I mean by no salt is don't add any salt. Single, I was averaging between 20 and 24 cans a day in the Great of Alcoholism Single. Beer then, when my stomach couldn't handle it on the cider, really. I thought cider would have been worse than beer, Single, against. So we have a lot of perceptions of ourselves that are false. Tom, alcohol would just go back. Black market, it would, yeah. I agree. Stangle, barely eat food too. I hardly ate, I have to say. Hardly ate much at all, really. But it's so easy to make alcohol and never get rid of alcohol. It's easy to brew. Yeah, you can't never get rid of it. Samantha, good night. Hope you have a good night, Lana. Thanks, Samantha. So I love mornings now. Mornings are much better, aren't they? Although the other day I slept in the afternoon as well. I was so tired. It's nice to have a bit of a nap, isn't it? When you're off the boot, you have a sober nap. Samara, being an alcoholic gives you a master's degree in bullshit. It does, mind. which can be handy when you become so detect other bullshit. That's a good point. Garen, it was just too easy to make it. It is. I remember my parents used to make these, the boots kits. And that's how I started doing the homebrew. The homebrew lager was like, oh, so nice. It was just a beautiful drink. It was incredible. Manchester 999. It's not even the Sunday night. It's a Monday morning sweats and fear. 2 or 3 day come down. Simply a bad deal. It is, isn't it? It's a feeling of being feeling of detachment and dizziness and just feeling fucking dreadful. You've been hit by a sledgehammer. All you want to do is try and get the day off, isn't it? That's when you start to creep off a few days sick and take the annual leave early because you want to get on the drink, or you can't face going back because you feel so ill. You want to go back, but you can't. Johnny, well, all your warriors go to bed. Good night, Johnny. Speak very soon. Good night, Lana. Good night, Johnny. See you, Johnny. See you Sunday night. You see people are getting, whoa, it's Monday tomorrow. I've got to get to bed. This is why pubs traditionally used to close half an hour early on a Sunday night to get the peasants like us back ready for work. And it's getting worse, unfortunately. The wealth divide. Graham, yes, when things are bad, it's all about getting through that day, and tomorrow you're going to change. You never change, does it? It never changes, Graham, does it? Never gets better. School Bob, I love going to things sober like a human lie detector. It's much better sober. Tom, when the morning drinking starts, right, that's the time when you're gone, finished. My partner mentioned the other day. When you need a drink rather than want to drink, then you're in big trouble. And that's what I would class as a simple way of knowing when you're turning into a full-blown alcoholic. And when you start having the morning drinks, eventually that will turn into having a couple at lunchtime as well. And then also you move on to being a top-up drinker then. So you've got some alcohol in the system all the time. Then you risk drinking and driving. Then you have problems with, well, I did with anxiety. I didn't drink and drive. I had massive anxiety. I used to go public transport. Huge anxiety about crazy things. I couldn't fly because I thought I was going to go to the door and try and get. I know you can't get out, but I had all this crazy thoughts in the underground and would fall onto the track. Madness. Blackstone, how do you distinguish between needing the drink the next morning and just wanting the party to continue? Needing the drink is when you're fearful of what's going to happen if you stop drinking, how bad you're going to feel, and how rough you feel, the headaches and the sweats and all the things that Leno was on about. And as we get older, they get worse. Because we got to remember when we start drinking, most of us have been single, we start drinking heavily, and then even when you're with a partner, you maybe don't have kids. When all this changes, when you've got more pressure with mortgages and work pressure, then children come along, you've got all of that, you've got no rest time. When you have lots of recovery time, you can drink quite well, if that makes sense, because you eat well. When you're running around with a steak pie because you're in a hurry to get to work and you're chasing your tail, that's not good. So if you've got a very relaxed lifestyle, you probably can be quite a normal drinker. Well, I can't, but some people can. And that's why they don't get into so much trouble. When you're stressed, it causes problems as well. But you'll know when it becomes a problem. Once enjoyable, then needed. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the enjoyment goes out of it. Putting myself as at risk, of course, yeah. So, yes, the morning drinking, it's wrong and embarrassing, but we do it just about normal. Yeah, only alcoholic will understand. 100%. That's why this is better than any doctor, in my opinion, because doctors don't know how we feel. All of you know how each other feels. Fucking dreadful. Doctors will prescribe you things sometimes, but it's only somebody who's been through the same nonsense will actually be able to relate properly. Tom, yes, I needed to numb the heath. Stengo, hi Stengo. Totally agree with the morning drinking. Sitting on the bus to work, needing a can before my shift was pretty grim. Yeah, everyone's done that. Oh, well, a lot of people have. Staying near a pie, nothing beats up. That's all right when you're a normal drink with a pint of ale, but not when you've had too much to drink and you've just been sick with a little bile up over your nice white shirt. A different story, isn't it? Needing and wanting, exactly, Steve. Yeah, that's right. Person, have you ever been due to go somewhere and knew the entire travel time there you were going straight to the pub and missing an appointment. Oh yeah, 100%. Alcohol can help others heal. Yeah, of course, can. If you enjoy these or you benefit, then please hit the super chat button or the buy me coffee links at the top. It helps the channel grow. It helps us stronger. It helps the algorithm, and let's get some more people on here regularly, and let's help some more people to survive, because it's a battle this to win against alcohol. It's not an easy thing to do. It's a very serious illness that we have here. We're dealing with something which hasn't been taken seriously enough, in my opinion, by the authorities. It still isn't, and it never will be. Down in the evening, it's a drink. In the morning, it's a medicine. That's a great way of putting it, actually, isn't it? Yeah. Have a few drinks now. Wow, great. I'll go to bed, have a nice sleep. Oh, I think it's a nice sleep, and then fucking hell, 8 o'clock. Or somebody wants to lift somewhere. You can't do it. You become unreliable. Tom, I drove down the motorway in the morning drinking. Crackers, isn't it? Yeah. Michelle, you've given me an incentive. I'm 2 weeks in. You're welcome, Michelle. Keep coming in here. Tell your friends about it. Subscribe to the channel, and you get plenty of help here. There's plenty of us here to help you. Tom, they shut down all the free rehab. Of course, it did years ago. I couldn't even get any. I couldn't get any prescription drugs. So that's why we need this channel to work to help people. We can do more here than you can at any rehab. I was mentoring a chap recently, 1-to-1. He's come off the beer now, but he went to rehab centre. It was about £18,000. He's a wealthy chap, lives in the north. Anyway, he'd gone this rehab. He came home. Within 7 hours, he drank a whole bottle of vodka. They didn't teach him anything. He lost a bit of weight, I think. Had a few games of pool and read a book. What the fuck's the point in that? In California, we have plenty of rehab. Yeah, that's fair enough. There's very, very few in the UK. The ones that are here are very expensive and have pretty poor success rate, as far as I'm aware. Tom, they used to detox you in hospital not so long ago. Well, what I got was diazepam just to take it home, and it used to work for me, to be honest. Thanks again for that coffee, Steve. You're welcome for the chat. Thanks for sending it in. If anybody else wants to buy a coffee or drop a super chat in, please do. It helps the channel to grow and keeps us strong. There used to be, I've never had a detox in hospital. I think things are different in the States. That they are here, but different every area, even, But I know one thing: it's going to kill you if you don't get off it. It simply will kill you if you do not get off it. It's got about strong bottle of cider and 3 straws. Shakes that horrendous in the morning. Jesus, man. Help dry out, maybe. Tom, not many the free ones. The waiting lists are crazy. Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? There are so many problems. Just wait till the AI kicks in. Then you will all be doing this with me, or we'll be doing it together. Because you can imagine COVID, but worse. The hospitals were full of people who got hepatitis, alcoholic hepatitis, because they were normal drinkers, social drinkers. They drank too much too quickly, and it knackered the liver. Most of us here have been regular drinkers for over the years, and that's why you develop diseases, or liver disease, or whatever damage. If you want to manage that, you have to have a good diet and not drink. It's as simple as that. You can't do anything else. I didn't realise that diazepam was volume. How did it help? Did it make you feel relaxed? It just made me sleep. It stopped the seizures, basically. You can't get it now. Oh, I couldn't in 2014. Christopher, hello, Chris. How are you doing? One time I poured 5 gallons of homemade wine out on the ground. That was a painful morning. Wow, I bet it was. Especially if you're sort of addicted to it, as I was. Well, not wine, but beers. So hair of the dog is just an equalizer to reduce anxiety and withdrawals to a manageable level. Yeah, it stops you panicking a little bit, doesn't it, the hair of the dog? So, scope of where is work? We have 6 patients at a time. It's £2,000 a day. Jesus. Where you work? So you work in a rehab centre, Scott? Presumably. What do they get for the £2,000 a day? That's the thing. Jonathan, I took Zopiclone once for my sleep. That knocked me out. Things like Nytol and Night Nurse make you feel groggy. I haven't had Night Nurse since I was a kid. Neil, it works on the same receptors in the brain. Thanks, Neil. Garen, I had a week in hospital detox, and that was 6 years ago. No, I never had any of that. I never got offered anything like that. Tom, no, they won't prescribe diazepam now. Need to be in rehab. Detox only. It's strange because diazepam home thing did help me a couple of times. I went back after 8 years sober and they wouldn't give me a cigarette or get addicted. And I said, well, how can I get addicted? I've done it for 8 years. Crazy. If you'd like to support the channel, then drop a super chat in, please, or hit the coffee link, because remember, the stronger we get, the more people we can help. That's the best of this. The more people we can get out of this group healthy and fit again, the better. And bringing more people in, because it's needed. This sort of thing is needed. I wish I had something like this. I learn something every day as well. They get a pool, goats, great food, and nurse and a doctor. We can get it from a hotel, really, can't you? Goats. Is that games, you mean? Goats and chicken. Tom, they don't even prescribe supper clones. No horses. But it's advisable to seek professional help. You won't get proper help watching YouTube. If you can get the help from a doctor, brilliant. I couldn't get anything from a doctor, unfortunately. Zach Bill, hope everyone recovers. You can do this. Of course, you can. If you are struggling with, chemical addiction, and you try the doctor, obviously, I would advise you when you go to hospital. I wish I'd done that. And complain. Anyone tried tryptophan? I haven't tried that. Hayden, I found magnesium glycinate has a calming effect on the nervous system. Alcohol just flushes all your nutrients out. It does, yeah. You lose nutrients, you lose weight, you become malnourished. I did anyway. Thomas Brennan, boils down to how bad you want it. I was desperate, really was. We take good care of them, but it's a bit of a racket. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Scott. Tom saw the doctor today, not give you nothing. There you go, you see. It's a pretty typical story, that, to be fair. The people who've got something have been very lucky. I know Kaz has got problems with trying to get medication or booting for detox, but thanks, John, for that coffee. Anyone else wants to drop a coffee in, please do. Let's get the channel bigger and more powerful and more available to people, because still a lot of people don't know about this. A lot of people do. Yeah, so if you can get the medication, great. If you can't, it's a question of trying to taper off, which I couldn't do, or I would go and bang the doors of the hospital down, because this is between a rock and a hard place. That's where I was. I couldn't stop, because if I'd stopped, I would have had massive withdrawals. I tried to stop. I had seizures. I had this place to go to, which is a community centre type thing. And I couldn't go in there because they breathalyzed you. And I always needed a drink to get there. What am I supposed to do? I said to the doctor, oh, you've got to figure it out for yourself. All this bollocks. I mean, total bullshit. Saying ashwagandha capsules can help with anxiety. It's known as nature's Xanax. Is it really? I've seen that ashwagandha publicised. Tom Cunningham, just sort yourself. Okay, I'll go mad and I'll sleep in racing head. Is this true, isn't it? Tom has been through the same as me. Bertie, everywhere has local drug and alcohol services. They do, Bertie. They have them here, but they want to breathalyze before they allow you in. You've got to turn sober, the one here. And I went back and back. I tried everything, but every single thing. I'm not stupid. And I understand where you're coming from. None of us are stupid. We've all tried things, but it's really difficult. I don't know if it's because of the numbers, or I don't know why they won't give people some calm down withdrawal medication. Maybe it's in case people use it and abuse it, Thomas Brennan, sadly, people resort to street medication. That's the problem, or medication from the internet, which is naff. John, do I say it as cutting down because they reduced the alcohol content of Cronenberg last year from 5 to 4.6? I didn't know that, John. Interesting. Otherwise, like ADHD and anxiety, gets far more support, both financial and medical. Alcohol is still stigmatized. Of course, it is. Other drugs, or drug users in general, get much more support than alcoholics. Much, much, much more. It's first point of contact. All we're told to do, in general, is to go to a community type place, try and cut down yourself, go for a walk, and all this bullshit. That's not fucking good. Excellent. Only bullheadedness, grit and determination, 100% commitment will get you through this to sobriety. Nobody else, sobriety will not find you. That's very true. You've just got to be really, really strong. Because once you're off it, it's very easy to go back on it. And what we're looking for everywhere is for people to get long-term sober. To get that, as a subset there, you have to be tough and you need to smarten up and wise up. Because I wish I had years ago. Instead of thinking to myself, oh, I'm so arrogant. Not arrogant, I was like, oh, I'll be fine. But I wasn't fine, was I? None of us are ever fine again. Once we've crossed that line between when hangovers turn to withdrawal, then you can't drink anymore. But it was professional home detox rehab, etc. Help thousands of people in addiction. Yeah, I couldn't get that. A lot of people can't get that, unfortunately. I did have a couple of home detoxes in the year 2000-ish, but 2014 I wouldn't do that anymore. Might be just different NHS areas, I'm not sure, but I would have definitely gone for a home detox again, but I didn't do it. Well, maybe they can, yeah, that's good, yeah. Anybody who can get through it is brilliant, yeah. But you need thousands now. I am honest somewhat. Yeah, we need to focus on looking after ourselves, really, don't we? Once you are sober, this is the problem that people have, going back and back and back on it, and that makes everything worse with the kindling effect and all the mind games and all what happens to your mind and your body, and physiologically you're pretty knackered, aren't you? That's the problem, you know. If you want to drop a super chat in to help the channel, support the channel, please do. Buy me coffee links at the top as well. Help us get stronger, bigger, and more robust against this horrible illness, and get more people involved. So basically, yeah, that was addiction covered. Family support, is that helpful? I'm not sure. I don't think families know what we're going through unless they've got problems themselves. Graham, a man without goals is a man who will fail, but as you age and drink as your friend, the reasons to get sober seem unclear. That's very true. You need to relaunch the ship, I suppose, and get your goals, get yourself started up again. It's like a kickstart, isn't it? Really, you need to get moving again. I said this is why this isolation, when you lose connection with people, the only thing you're connecting to is the alcohol, because you've got nothing else to do. If you're with somebody, you've got somebody helping you, supporting you, it's a massive difference. It's made a difference in my life. Last couple of years, having somebody to talk to, somebody to support you. You need someone good to support you with everything you do in life, not just alcoholism. Jonathan James, Graham Jones, what are your current goals? If they're not so personal, what are your current goals? Thomas Brent, the Sunday night fear, terrifying, isn't it? Yeah, the fears. Because you finished now, you can't anymore now. That's in your head, isn't it? Oh, I'm up at 6 o'clock. I'm trying to get 8 hours, and you think, oh, I'll just have another one. And then you drink about 11:45. You've got 6 hours sleep, and you wake up about 5 times. 1:45, 3:45, 5, 8, oh, it's got 6, whatever. God, you always wake up before the alarm as well, don't you? I feel like terrible. I hate my life. I hate myself. That's the thoughts. Depressing, isn't it? Flaming boo-boo. Another week, another 7 days of sobriety. It's painful, but it's partially down to people like yourself to get the good work. Thanks, boo-boo, for that. Appreciate that very much. And it's good for the channel, good for support. If anyone wants to support the channel, you know what to do. Coffee or the super chats. Let's get things moving again, like as fast as we can, really, because the more people we help, the better. The more this algorithm gets kicked into working properly, then we'll grow even faster. Where do you think they're going? Getting the hell out of the UK. Yeah, I don't blame you, Graham. Where do you think they're going? I've been trying the idea myself. I don't know where I'd go. Asia's pretty good bet. Self-loathing is horrible to say the least, Tom. It is mind. So about congratulations to everyone trying and struggling. Yeah, of course. At least we're on here. People are on here saying, wow, we've admitted we've got a problem. Thomas Brand, 22 years, fantastic. But it's only for a day. That's a good way of looking at it, isn't it? I must admit, I've got no thoughts about going back on it. But I understand where you're coming from, Tom. Because I did after 8 years, didn't I? Graham Jones, Portugal for me. Yeah, we've just been to Portugal 6 weeks ago. It was actually beautiful. Very, very good seafood restaurants. Graham Jones, Portugal for me. Nice climate, easy atmosphere. My main challenge is life now is what to do for a living. I'm lucky that I have reasonable wealth. That's good, Graham. If you got a little bit of money behind you, it's fine. One thing I did notice in Portugal was a lot of shops would only take their own credit card or their own debit card. So we had to go and get cash out. It's a bit strange. But maybe that was a quiet place. I don't know. Scoba, I'm going to see if I can recommend you to our clients. That'd be brilliant, Scoba, if you could do that. Fantastic, well done. Because I'd imagine some clients come out of there and think, well, what should I do next? Because I'm not sure what the follow-up is, Scoba, in a rehab. I've never been able to afford one, you see. So it's interesting. Cheers for that, Scott. I appreciate that. Hayden Con, night all, up for work in the morning. Stay strong and positive all. Thanks again for the channel, Steve. You're welcome, Hayden, anytime, and thanks for your donation. Well received, the coffee. And it helps support the channel, which is amazing. Samantha, good night, Hayden. Take it easy. And Tom, good night. Yeah, so really the connection, we need a connection in life. We can't just be connected with alcohol because it's going to kill us. You need to be connected to good things. You need to get yourself healthy habits. And you need, the one thing, overriding thing here is you need to connect or to be involved in something which is more important to you than the alcohol was. Because the alcohol becomes your fixation because you're addicted to it. But you can break it. You can do it. And you say to yourself every day, I'm not going to have a drink ever again. We have someone who helps them plan to go to rehab. Right? Thanks, Joe. Just go over. If you pass on the channel to these clients, it would be really helpful. That. Thanks. I appreciate that. Genova, thanks, Steve. Thanks, Mods. Thanks, chat. Thanks, Genova, for your donation. It's well received. And anybody else who's been involved tonight, thanks very much. Thanks for everybody coming along. But we've got a few more minutes yet, I think. So yeah, this connection you lose with family, friends, or whatever. You then connect with the alcohol. And it's something, isn't it, to do. And then I think from there, for me, I'll go to the pub a little bit. And then you connect with other alcoholics there, don't you? Or all soaps, as I call them, which I was one at one point. And you have this sort of familiarity with them. But you're all in the same boat, really. But beware, when you get sober, you'll not be allowed in their boat anymore. Because you're not allowed. Some of the time. John Doe, yes, Steve. Cronenberg went from 5 to 4.6, started from 4.8 to 4.6. I think it's related to the duty the brewers have to pay. No health, unfortunately. There'll be no health thing. There's another thing on LBC, the thing I listened to all night, about the number of pubs closing and how brewers squeeze the profits. It's all about money, isn't it? Steve, I had 2 wonderful wives and a girlfriend who gave me unlimited support. It was only after I lost all of them did I pick myself up to meet the challenge I had for sobriety. Understand, sub? Saying, I've got a 10K run next Sunday, then a half marathon in Glasgow next month. Well, that's brilliant, isn't it? Exercise keeps me focused on not boozing. Yeah, exercise is very important, as well as I mentioned before, diet. Think diet. Once you're off the booze, and you tend to overcompensate with other healthy things. Well, I have anyway, and making life better, because life will only crash with alcohol. There's no benefits whatsoever. So I'm still out of breath just reading the comments. So am I, man. I was just thinking today was a Great North Run, and I've done that twice. Once when I was in the Meta Camp, dude. Once a few years ago. Might do it in the future, I don't know. It's more or less a little bit of jogging, a bit of walking, I think. Scope of no room in the boat for you, literally. No, there's not. Once you're sober, the crowd you used to run with won't want to know you because you show them up. I think that's the reason. I've got a friend. We call him the doc because he was a doctor, and he said that's the reason to keep out of these Wetherspoons. The place I used to drink, he said don't go in there because you feel out of place. And he's right. So is my partner, right? I mean, I don't relate to those people anymore. They're good enough folk, but they're not in the same not in the same wavelength as me anymore. I was with like them, but I'm not now. Graham Stephen, many thanks for your videos. I've watched a fair few, and you're absolutely putting a seed in my mind to address this. Okay, Graham, thanks very much for your help, and thanks for supporting and watching the videos. So after I got sober, I wasn't invited by them to Florida. You wouldn't be. no, because I don't want to know you. If anybody wants to drop a super chat in, please, or a buy me a coffee link is at the top there. It does help with the channel. It helps with the algorithm, helps to boost it, and makes it stronger. And let's help more people. Every time we're on here, we'll help somebody in some way. Even the rats have left me on this vessel. I'm such a pain in the ass. Yeah, Scott, Bob, it'd be great if you could pass the details on, because it would help more people. The word would get around, and we'll get more people on the sober trail, really, because that's what it's all about, isn't it? The big reason to be sober is to stay healthy and to live a better life and to add life to your years. Because if you carry on drinking, even at a moderate level, every day, then you're going to shorten your lifespan, and you're also going to make your life less enjoyable. Because it's nice to wake up, isn't it? Fresh. Even if you had a late night, you can have a because we none of us here can have a couple of drinks every couple of weeks, a bottle of wine or a few pints. It's not possible. And once that is actually closed, that opportunity for us, that door is closed, then we're going to realize that's it. It's like coming out of prison. Who wants to go back in prison? Which is what it's all about, isn't it? That's the problem. But it's also, somebody mentioned to me the other day, alcoholism or heavy drinking is paying substantially to kill yourself, isn't it? You lose your job, you might lose your partner, you might lose your house, the whole lot. You're paying yourself to kill yourself. It's crap, isn't it? It doesn't make sense to me at all. You've got to make sure that you look after yourself. And I don't believe that anybody can do this through a third party unless you believe in yourself. You've got to want to do it, and you've got to believe in yourself. And your health is so important. Stop with two getting sloshed. It's not wise. Haven't drank for 2.5 years. Also, Northeast lad, just leaving. Guess. Oh, how are you doing? Have you read? Nice to see you. Hope you're well. I presume you didn't do the Great North Run. I didn't today. I haven't for a few years, but I did hear the Red Arrows go across 11:30 when I was still dozing around. Well, not dozing around, I was up, but slowly moving. Ramble Tamble, how long have you been sober, Steve? Like you're telling, thanks, Ramble Tamble. Nice to see you. Another new person. 6 years this October. October 19th will be 6 years, but I was sober 8 years from 2006 2014, and stupidly had a drink 2014. Couldn't get medication and drank for 4.5 years, 5 years. So I've been sober for 15 years out of the last 20. But obviously the 5 years I was drinking nearly killed me. But I've just had a 6-month examination, and my liver function is the best it's ever been. So I'm pretty much on the mend, as it were. Well, I've mended as far as the doctors are concerned. Because a good diet, and exercise and mindset's good. I've got a good partner. Everything's good. When things are rosy in your life and you've got peace in your mind, it's fucking great. I've got no thoughts of going back on it ever again. No Great North Run for me. No. Scott Bob, thanks, Scott Bob. Yeah, 100%. Get everything right for yourself, and things will go well for you, because sobriety will create opportunities. It will create a better you. You'll feel better. You'll sleep better. Not I sleep a lot, but it will just make life much better. Because I wouldn't have been here if I'd continued. I think I was very close to going downhill mentally and physically when I was in hospital. When I was in hospital, and when I got admitted to hospital was basically the start of COVID. I'm not good with timing sometimes, and I spent most of COVID in that hospital, which was crazy, really, when I look back. Have you ever thought about the role of Northeast culture, in particular on alcoholism in the region? I've never really looked into that, but is that a sort of magazine thing or something, or is that a movement? Have you read anything? Let me know. I'll have a look. John, do I thought about doing the Great North Run? Lost 2 calories thinking about it. You would, yeah. Thanks, Heavy Rain, for that. I'll have a look into that, but it certainly would be handy. The more exposure, the better, really. Ramble, Tamble. That's great. See, myself, 13 months to feel much better. All the best. That's great. Ramble, come back again. We're going to be here most nights at 9. If I'm not going to be here, I'll put a little post on the channel. Somewhere I'm under the flight path of the paid-to-ride World War II Spitfire, nothing like the rumble of Merlin engine half a dozen times enough, none of it. Well, actually, yeah, when the Red Arrows came over, you do, because I'm very close to the start of it, maybe less than maybe half a mile. So they're pretty, damn noisy. Like. Got about 8 ice cream this weekend. I'm ashamed. Ice cream's all right. Everything's all right apart from alcohol. If you want to drop a super chat in, please do. It helps support the channel, helps us grow, helps us reach more people who have got problems. Or buy me a coffee link there as well. Keeps the channel current and keeps it going. And the more people who can help, the better, because this is a big killer. It kills over 3.5 million people a year worldwide. The death rate, unfortunately, using that word, has increased again to the highest point on record, 2023. The figures still aren't out for 2024. Now I think they've been delayed for whatever reason, which won't be good. Because when I was with the alcohol care team a few months ago, they said that liver disease itself was presenting in patients much younger now, which means that younger people are still drinking, maybe drinking less in the pubs, but they're drinking stronger gear, which is worrying for the doctors. And I know for a fact that doctors are worried about this AI carry on when people lose their jobs and the recession deepening. Because on Friday, went for that checkup, I've never seen the outpatients liver area as busy. And she said, it's really busy. That's all she said. The consultant, it's really busy. Tomorrow, yes, please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Yeah, that will help spread the word. Thanks, sub. Stingo, how do you get in touch with your WhatsApp group? So I'll put the number on here. If you go to the description on the on each of the videos, there'll be a link there. But I'll put my number here as well if you want to take a screenshot of that. Obviously, +44 if you're outside the UK. Anybody? WhatsApp group's good. It's a good place to chat. I mean, people don't just chat about alcohol; they chat about football, all sorts. It's just but there's normally somebody there most of the day and night. Social drinking is becoming a thing of the past. Yeah, there's no social drinking, is there? No problem, Stingo. I'll speak to you soon. No, social drinking, definitely the thing of the past for me. But it's certainly getting worse, and that's why we need to be vigilant every day, as somebody mentioned earlier. And it's one of these things where you can easily wander into the boozer. That's a bit of an analogy, really, but easily get a pint of beer. You can easily get cans delivered, bottles delivered, whatever you want. I mean, I don't know the alcohol, but if I wanted some, I'd easily get some beer in 10 minutes, wouldn't it? So it's so easy to go back and not so easy to stop. But you need a strong incentive, and you have to be strong. And every day I say, I'm not going to have a drink again. It ruined my life. I nearly did. I'm back in the game and enjoying life. That's the sort of thing we need to be looking at. Any questions you've got or any comments you want to make, then drop them in the comment section. Or my number's on there. If you text me any particular subjects you want covered as well, it's handy. I've got a few subjects from Blackstone and a few others I get from various sources. But if there's something you want in particularly covered, then I'll do that for you. Because the more we talk, the more we learn. The more we learn, the healthier we get, and the fitter we get. And let's keep moving on. So good night, everybody, and thanks for everybody who's turned up, and thanks very much for the coffees, and thanks to the super chats, and we'll see you all tomorrow at the same time, hopefully. If there's any change to that, I shall let you know. But we'll keep an eye out for the posts on the community section. We'll let you know what's going on. Cheers, Dan. I think I missed a couple of regulars tonight, Cars and a couple of other people, but they'll be back. Cheers, Beef and Chicken. Nice to see you, and thanks, Scobo. Thanks to all the moderators, and thanks to Sub as well for what he does, and thanks to everybody who comes on. Thanks for chatting tonight. Good night. See you all tomorrow. Good night, Bertie. Have a good one. John, cheers. John, and try your present. Yeah, of course. Score when you can. Try and get that channel circulated amongst those people in Rehab. Would be great. That to get another sort of side of it, to see how it was. Good night, Samantha. Hope you're well. Have a good sleep and take it easy. And welcome to all the new people. It's nice seeing your new faces, isn't it? Good night, Karen and Tom. let's try and get more people involved. If you know anybody who is struggling with this, then share the links, share the channel, share the videos, and share the fact that this is on most nights at 9, and it's a very safe space to open your hearts up. Really, I think I've done. I think a lot of us have, and there's some terrible stories of um, you know people losing children. All sorts of horrendous things that have happened to us, and we've got to stay strong through that. We can't cave into alcohol because that's something's happened. It's just the cycle of life, really, isn't it? Okay, folks, I'll speak to you soon, and I hope Monday isn't too troublesome for you. That's the main thing. See you later, Charlie, and catch you later, everybody. Good night.